Grief is a journey, and it's a very personal journey. And there is no right way to grieve. There's only your way to grieve.
Dr. Mitzi Doan is a licensed psychologist and has spent the last 45 years helping people with their grief.
As we lose different people in our lives, that journey is going to be different depending on the relationship that we had with that person.
And that was the case for Harriet Hodgson, a writer and family caregiver who went through a lot of loss.
A week after my daughter died, I switched from writing about general health and wellness to writing about grief, and I've written 11 books on that topic. Now, when I look back, after all these years, the dozens of things grief taught me.
Harriet's daughter was one of 3 family members she lost in 2007. Back then, she found herself looking for balance, a new normal.
When we lose someone we care about, the normal is never going to be there again. The journey for grief is a journey that brings us hopefully to a new normal.
Quite honestly, the more I help others, the more I help myself.
So Harriet found herself in writing as she accepted and grew with her grief.
There is a saying, and I believe it from the bottom of my heart, is that grief can be delayed, but it will not be denied.
Grief can continue for longer than expected, as Dr. Doan explained that there are 3 deaths. The first is when the body stops functioning. The second is the ceremony or burial of the body. And the third is when they are no longer remembered.
And that is why I think it's so critical for people to, especially for people that they've loved and cared about, to keep that memory alive.
Another thing to remember with grief is to understand that people experience it differently.
Some grief is very complicated. It's really important to remember that, after a death, everybody comes to the rescue, right? We deliver food, we send cards, we go to the wake, we go to the funeral or the celebration of life. And then often what happens is nothing. We go from all this excitement, sometimes even chaos, to sometimes real silence.
Continued support can take the form of a call.
And during that call, please do not say if there's anything I can do for you, because we won't call. So be specific. Say, I'm going to the grocery store. Tell me what you need and I will get it for you.
They shared coffee on an important day.
I think it's important at holidays and birthdays and death days to find ways to commemorate that person.
Or simply sharing memories of the one who has passed.
And what you are doing is creating new memories. You're building on love and creating new memories. And that can really get you through a day.
For WDIO News, I'm Ethan Sherman.